how we are feeling. And just as we are getting ready to embrace this beautiful month of March, ways that we can get through it. And oh, here she goes. Here she goes. Here she goes. Here we go. 1 second, guys. Let me.
Yay.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am great. So I got to tell y'all this. So we didn't even plan it today, but you see we have the same color lip on. Look at that. That's my sister. Cool. I told you.
On the same wavelength. That's so exciting. I was like, wait. Like as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh my God.
And listen, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, what did she say?
Like what?
Yeah, but this is awesome. How are you feeling today?
Good. I'm so happy. Anybody else like with more sunshine, like my mood, like my everything, like so I am happy that I know I'm in a sweater, but I'm in a sweater and shorts because like it's
I was gonna say I peeped that when you got up to grab the cat.
Were you like, whoa, for a second? A lot of skin. Oh my God, Tawnie, don't have pants on. I got shorts.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool because that works. Hey, listen, you got to do what works best for you. You probably were a little cold up at top, and the body said, "Hey, I'm not cold at the bottom, so we're gonna go ahead and compromise, make it work for you."
Yeah, I found as long as my midsection's warm. I don't know. Are you? I would love to know. Is one side your Is it more sensitive to the heat and the cold and the?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all, I always say, y'all know me and cold weather don't get along. Post stroke, I think I've always been a freeze baby, but baby, like it will freeze up my affected side as if I am day one of my stroke, like literally. And when I say freeze up, y'all, I mean elbow, hand, fist, everything just locks itself. And and I always tell people it's kind of like a fight or flight reaction. Our body doesn't know what it wants to do, so. Because that is a highly sensitive situation that's happening to my body, it says, hey, I need to protect it. So it protects it by locking up and says, hey, I don't want to work because we don't know what's going on here. So yes, me and Nicole, I have to be in the sun. And listen, I'm saying doctor prescribed that, Tracey, you in this cold weather don't get along and you want to get better, you got to get up out of this cold weather. So yes, me and the heat. We are great friends, y'all. The hotter, the better. I know people complain about it. I'm thinking about at some times that the heat gets a little warm. You may hear me say, oh, I'm hot, but then at the same sentence, I want to complete the sentence without saying, thank you, Jesus, because I like the heat. I don't want to say, oh, I'm cold, and then I got to think about what my body is going to do and how it's going to react to the cold. So I'm going to say that.
I joke that I have I got about a 10-degree temperature where I'm happy. If it's too hot, then my head feels weird. I feel like I don't like it if I'm too cold. So I'm like, keep me in the warmer, drier altitudes. I know when I was back in Ohio for the surgery, I was like, I love being here, but the weather is definitely making a lot more migraines than I need to have.
And so, but at the same time, you'll notice that some survivors, they say the cold does them better. Yeah. So everybody is different, guys. Yes. Everybody's body reacts differently to, just like we tell people our bodies heal at different times. We find ourselves, and some of us may be in a recovery phase a little longer than we wanted to. All of those things play a part because every single person is different. So as we're talking about what works for us, we would like to hear what works for y'all, things that y'all figured out in this process of recovery with going through the stroke. Are you finding that your body is much better in the cold and the hot, or how is your body reacting to these different temperatures and just different climates, as like Tawnie was saying with my migraines and things like that? It's a process that we go through in this, again, process that I'm always telling you about, survivorship.
And it can be changing.
Yes.
Like second surgery, and you never know, maybe you have a baby, then your hormones are changing. Like all of us are healing. So it's so helpful because a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but when you ask the doctor, it's a lot of, I don't know, that's interesting. You're also different. So you start going, you feel isolated. But then when you start sharing with other people and you realize, oh my gosh, you still have that, or like you feel similar things, it is really opened up my eyes and helped me a lot with the depression and the anxiety, like the mental stuff, because I know it's not what everyone wants to talk about. Like it's not the fun stuff. So most people tend to just like not want to discuss it, but I think it's super important. And Tracey actually had brought it up about.
It's very important, guys. So we wanted to focus on, and really we called the topic of navigating through the emotional landscape post-stroke. And one of the ones we were talking about was understanding post-stroke depression. And at the same time, as we started off our conversation with understanding post-stroke depression, how we started our conversation was for you to understand that we are not going to be on the same. We're not going to have the same level of depression. We're not going to have the same level of highs and lows. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body reacts to something. And I can say, since we're talking about the topic of depression, part of mine was highlighted by the cold and by me not being able to control how my body was reacting, because I didn't quite, it's already that I'm trying to heal, and then to not have control of my body is going through extra convulsions, I would say, because of this weather. It's like, yo, this is not good. I need to heal. I need to be happy. I need to find reasons that I'm trying to getting myself with those happy endorphins and filling myself up with more than I'm dealing with. The repercussions of my body reacting because of temperature. Like, why do we have to go through those things? And at the same time, some of us are not in a situation we can say, hey, we want to get up and move because this is not good for my body. So all of those things could play a part. And I just wanted to start off with myself as one of the things that highlighted it. And I wasn't really paying attention to it in the beginning, but started to notice it, me speaking more about it, me speaking with other survivors and talking to my doctor about it. It started to bring things to the forefront. And it's like, wow, the weather plays a part of that.
Yeah. Well, and then, I didn't know this, but another survivor told me that their doctor was like, yes, usually around year 2, because of the brain injury, with it being Brain Injury Awareness Month, a lot of times if you have had blood in your brain, the enzyme that your body makes to like break that up can actually cause depression. So I was so grateful. I wasn't depressed. And that's what for me was hard to understand, because I couldn't see out of my eye. I was on bed rest. Like life was way worse and I wasn't depressed. Why am I getting better, but my mind is getting worse? Is how I was like, couldn't wrap my brain around it. But then when someone just said, like, explained, hey, it's a chemical, you're like, oh, okay, so it's not anything I'm doing, which, hate to break it to you, but depression, anxiety, it's not, you can eat healthy, you can do all the right things, and stuff still happens. You still have days, you still have moments. Like, it's still a roller coaster ride, but it helped me understanding and realizing that, like, hey, it's something that may happen. So, like, I'm aware that it's almost coming up on my 2-year from my second brain surgery. So I'm like, it might have a shift. And like, I can tell you, I definitely know it's the winter because I do have seasonal depression, but we are crawling out of that depressy, stressy, like for sure. Like,
but no, that's great when you think about all those things that we don't really pay attention to. And at the same time, where are we going to get that knowledge from if we don't have this community like this? Having people talk about the things that we go through, if you don't have the ability to be able to reach and have that connection and have that relationship with your doctors and somebody to talk to on the phone on the regular, or send them a message and say, hey, can you explain a little more in detail, or can we talk about this, or is there a community that I can reach out to understand why? And I'm going to keep repeating the community, because the great part I like about the community is the collection of information that we continue to get as we recover. And if I have to compare, which I do, if I have to compare to understanding why our community is so beautiful, because we have your doctors, which we are grateful for them, their knowledge and everything. But in a lot of cases, that is the textbook knowledge that they have acquired when they got their degrees and their licenses, as well as that's how we get statistics. And statistics will tell you, based off of this certain amount of people that put something in record, they can say we may react this way, or they can say we will feel this way or recovery in this amount of time. But as we are learning, that does not work. Statistics need to be updated on a regular basis, but nobody's really doing that.
Yes.
So the best statistics we get is from a live community like we have here.
I think of it as resources. You have one doctor. I love my doctor. I love their information. You should always listen to your doctor, okay? You should always do your own research. You know what's great? I love hearing from all of my friends' doctors too. No, they don't have my medical history. No, they don't know things, but I learned stuff about, like, there's an acupuncture that's like specific for people who have had like strokes and like neurological things. Did not even know about that. Did you know that there's eye doctors that are specialized in that? And some of you are like, well, duh. But I bet you I said that to somebody who were in your healing journey. Your doctor never mentioned that, never suggested these things. So it's just like why it's so helpful when you get around when you get around people and you start talking, you start sharing stories, you start learning things, and also for me, it's incredible to have physical people that I'm like, so when I'm having a hard time, I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. If they got through it, I can get through it. It might not look the same. It might not. But my doctor did tell me you will never walk both your dogs again. But who's doing it? So I also think about other people who were told they couldn't do things, and that helps motivate me. So like look to others to be inspired, but not to compare to demotivate you. Like if you're following someone's journey and it's not helping you in your recovery, you can mute them.
You can mute them. You absolutely can. Because there may be a point that some of the tips that they offer that you're like, oh, this was great. This is something that helped me smile today. This is something that gave me a little more knowledge or a little more to want to keep pushing myself. But at the same time, as I was just explaining to somebody as what is it called on Instagram? Is it the feed?
Your news feed.
The news feed. So somebody was saying like, how do you get certain things in your news feed? Like I literally Google things. I literally put my feed. I search it to put my feed in. Let's look at this stroke community. Let's look at, y'all know me. I'm that God child. Mine is I want Christian things. I want motivating things. So my feed is filled with that. And so it's things
you can train it.
Like,
you can train your feed.
I'm training it. Yes.
So go, and if you are seeing a lot of stuff you don't want to see, go search. Like I'm telling you, when I'm really into my cats, guess what? My feed's way more cats. So go look, comment, and like. You can't just look at things. You have to interact and tell the algorithm you like that. And you're going to start seeing more of it. So like if you're not having it refuel you, like I don't want my social media to drain me. Like some people like social media is so toxic. I'm like, yours is. I don't know what you're doing on your end. And I'm like, I try. But I'm telling you right now, it also has taken me. There are some people when I'm like, and we still all do it. You go, you make this face. And then I have to go, why did I just do that? What about them triggered me? What about this? And there's some things that it's just like, I just don't want to be, not my monkey, not my zoo. I don't want that drama. But I'm just saying a lot of times it's taken me about like reflecting, like, what can I learn from them? And that has taken time because I used to be like, trust me, right after it, oh, must be nice for them. That's easy for them. I was so pity party negative, Tawnie. So to see me now, like I would have wanted to throat punch me. I would have been like, ugh, meditating and grounding and hippie woo. Like I would not have been open to it because I was so angry, and it took me changing that. So like I'm sharing that to hopefully help someone see that like it's a daily process, and it's cool because you can go back and see my social media. Like you can see like, oh, she did a lot of angry, spicy like things. You can tell when I'm in a mood.
It's a process, a transition. As I always tell everybody, this is a lifelong process. As survivors, it's a lifelong process. Our journey is not over in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. And as we were just learning on one of our Zooms we did 2 weeks ago, we had a 20-year stroke survivor talking about the progressions that she's still making. It's like, it's beautiful. So that's what I'm saying. Look at our community. We are getting information from people that is 20 years, people that is 1 year, 2 years,
10 years, 16. Like,
yes, it's beautiful, baby. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's weird to say mine's going to be 9 years in May. Mm-hmm. Like, whoa. Cause I was like, that's wild. I'm like, cause next year will be a decade since my stroke. Like, holy smokes.
I'm year 6. I'm year 6. So yeah, that is. I am year 6 in mine. So, and Yeah, because you know what? This year I did. Yeah, y'all know I had so much going on, so I didn't even post my stroke anniversary. But listen, because this was a whole nother. God, thank you for being alive anniversary all the way around.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is year 6 for me, and you're coming. You're year 9.
Yeah,
So it's a beautiful thing overall. I wanted to say it. Something you had just said. You know how my brain works. Something you had said. It's gonna come to me shortly, but I can't remember exactly what you said, but it reminded me of something as I'm talking about all of us, how we process things and how we heal differently, and nobody's on the same level. Oh yeah, it just came to me. So I just learned how to play pickleball yesterday.
No way, that's so cool.
When I say it was this gentleman, he said it was beautiful. So he walks up, he says, "Oh, you're a newcomer." I says, "Yeah, very first time. Listen, I'm coming here fresh, baby. I don't know anything. I'm crawling. Not barely even hold my head up. That's how new I am." So I'm just laid out, like, teach me everything. So he goes, "One thing I want to let you know," he said, "you know the difference between crack and pickleball?" I said, "No." He says, "Well, crack, you can stop when you want to." And I said, but the beautiful thing is, it was so true and common, like, because guys, I was in there for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
6 hours. 6 hours on my first pickleball. 6 hours. And literally, if I didn't need to get somewhere, I would have stayed. Like, I was like, this is why all y'all up in here doing this? And this is why I become just this. And I don't even want to say fad, because, baby, this is this great
movement, a new chapter, a new song. Yeah, like
it was beautiful. It was beautiful, even in the process of me learning. And so we're talking about that. The process of me learning is what brought me to think about it. What Tawnie said, the process of me learning. Somebody that was teaching me some of the techniques, and they were like, "Well, you help people out, you train people." He was like, "You're very patient with people." I said, "Yes, so my patience is great. Like, I have great patience because I understand, like, we can't all get it and we go through things. So my patience," I said, "that's one thing." So I was thanking him actually for having patience with me, because of course I was doing things and kept repeating doing things, and he's like, "Are you listening?" But me, I don't get mad. I'm laughing the whole time, and he's laughing, and I'm like, okay. So back at the same time, I'm kind of apologizing, like, this is just how I get through things. I'm learning and I'm processing and laughing at the same time. But then he stopped me. He said, "So, but go back." He said, "Because you have great patience with these people you work with." He said, "But at the same time," he said, "don't they get frustrated sometimes?" I said, "Yes." And he says, "How do you react?" I said, "I'm just going to talk them through it. I'm just going to help them through it." He said, "So, understanding that's what I'm doing." He said, "You're not admitting." He said, "But you have frustration because you're kind of repeating the same things I'm telling you not to." And I was like, so I guess I am. And he says, "Well, they," because you're like, "Yo, I should be able to get it right now." Not able to get it, and you're like, "Okay," you still just kept encouraging me, and I'm like, "I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it." He was like, "Yo, you're getting it. Like, chill out." So, but at the same time, y'all, I'm talking to myself like, "Trey, what is the problem? Like, get it together. Like, get it together, girl." So, and that just made me think about it, because we were talking about the patience, but that also brought me to things in different ways. And then, but the beauty of it, I thank God for the patience that I have with survivors and have with people that I work with to train to help them through, because we get stuck in our own heads as, "Hey, I should get it like this. I should get it," but always, but it's okay. And basically, at the end of the day, it's okay, y'all. It is okay. We're all gonna recover different. We're all gonna find ways to get through it, find ways to make us smile, and that's what the beauty of it is. No one person is the same, y'all. No person is the same. We all have our ups and downs, our highs and our lows. At the end of the day, y'all know I'm always thanking God for the breath of life, because I got a new day to start over in your things, and we can make it work even better than it was yesterday.
Just keep growing. And thank you, guys. We open up a Zoom every Tuesday, so even if we aren't live, check our channels. We are still in there, just because we realize not everybody has to share everything publicly. So we open that up. Your camera can be off, your camera can be on. You can ask questions, topics, whatnot. It's really just a great space. Thank you, Tracey, for opening that Zoom up for us. And you can get all the info is in our channel, which you can press on our page and click there.
Yes, so if you've been on any Zooms, it's the same channel. We don't change it. So you can just jump in, click on Zoom, but catch us over there right now. It's open now. We love you guys, and see y'all later.
Thank you. Oh,